welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O Melia here. You a concerned Tom's River resident there. That's why I do this show. Hope you're concerned about bank closings, because we're going to do a lot on bank closings today. It's probably the longest segment I'll ever do on one topic, as we're going to do on bank closings today. First off, everything you see on the bottom of the stage on the screen. Follow us on Twitter. Love us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Download the Livestream app. Livestream is our base streaming network. It's a lot better than quality-wise than YouTube. You can get in touch with us. Send me an email. Go to our website. I'm all over social media. Tough week winter-wise. We're going to remember the winter of 2021 into 2022 because you got hit with, we'll talk about it more in the first segment. Got hit with a lot of snow. Then we had an ice storm. That's tough. Next week, I wanted to get into it this week, but I'll wait a week because we're going to talk about the bank branches closing. Just had one, the Wells Fargo. The open container law has been approved in Trenton. It's up to the municipalities if they want to use it. I think that's going to be a huge problem, especially in the shore communities during the season. But even in the towns also. People will be hanging outside the liquor store drinking up, then going back in. So that can't be good, but we'll get into that next week. Don't forget, Mavis Tire also isn't good. Don't go to the Mavis Tire on 280, Route 37 West, unless you want to be abused. So don't go there. They have not contacted me yet, so I'm not going to give up on them. All right, we're going to break the commercial. We're going to come back with our topics today. We're going to talk about the rebound. By the time you watch the show, you will have missed the date to reschedule the schedule and appointment about your increased taxes. Then we're going to talk about the bank closing. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Introducing the all-new Ford Maverick. A truck for people who do stuff. And people who make stuff. People like Gabrielle Union.
I make this look good, don't I?
Who haul whatever they want to wherever they want. Like wood to build things made of wood with. And friends to get weird with. It's for long trips that the standard hybrid engine with a targeted EPA estimated city fuel economy rating of 40 miles per gallon helps with. That an 8-inch touchscreen connects with. And any trip that this interior makes more comfortable. But we'll let Gabrielle tell you all about it.
Or I could just tell them it's a Ford truck that starts at less than $20,000 MSRP.
Yep, that works too. The all-new Ford Maverick, built to defy expectations.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. I'm back, Pat O Melia here, Tom's River Show. I got a fairly hot cup of coffee today. I just poured it. Like I said, as I opened, what a snowstorm, huh? Got hit with about 18 inches in Tom's River. My kid's house in Seaside Heights, definitely about 1.5 feet. But the drifting was amazing. For that matter, the wind going around the Army-Navy store, my kid's house is next to the Army-Navy store, it was so Mother Nature-y, it blew around the Army-Navy store to the point where when the storm was done, we're surveying the immense amount of snow out there, and my wife says, look, they shoveled out the path next to the Army-Navy store. It would have been nice if they shoveled ours. And I'm looking at it, I say, you know what? They didn't shovel that, because that's not the sidewalk. That's this grass patch alongside the Army-Navy store where all the dogs relieve themselves with that. I said, that was the wind that cut it. The wind cut this so perfectly, it looked like somebody took a snowblower and cut a path out. It was amazing. I'm out there trying to shovel the snow on the huge sidewalk in front of my kid's house. I'm there, kids aren't. I did as much as I can. I got 2 bad knees. They got to be replaced. So I did as much as I can. There was nothing open in Seaside. I want to get the newspapers. 7-Eleven was closed. Babe's was closed. I want to get the lottery tickets. So I go into the In-N-Out deli, and they were open. So I got my lottery tickets, and there are 4 guys standing there, and one's got a shovel. I'm looking at him. They got a shovel? So you guys looking for shovel work? I go, yeah. I got some for you. I gave my address to the Army Navy store. I'll meet you there. These 4 guys, they only got 1 shovel, but they go walking by. It looked like a county job where one person works and 3 or 4 are going to watch. But I had a shovel. So I said, listen, I want to shovel the whole sidewalk. I said, what do you think it's worth? The guy's looking, I don't know. I'd say it's $40, $50. It goes $50. So you do a good job, I get $50. I mean, it's a long sidewalk. So that took care of that. Fortunately, I stopped at the In-N-Out deli, and those guys were there at that time. So I got my shoveling done. Hopefully, we have another big snowstorm. They'll come back again and remember me. For that matter, I think they lived on the block. You are going through, or you've had it, the rebound. In Jersey City, we went through one in 2018, the homeland. Most of the people from Toms River have some connection to Jersey City. We went through one in 2018. We hadn't done one for 28 years. So there was a big change in Jersey City in those 28 years, especially on the waterfront. Huge change. Where back in, like the 80s, you could get those brownstones, maybe 100,000. The brownstones are worth like $2-3 million now. So when we did that reval, the people on the waterfront were shocked. There were property tax bills that were like $4,000 or $5,000 a year were now $43,000 a year. And it was a real sticker shock. But keep in mind, the people on the Jersey City waterfront knew they were skating. They knew the value of their homes. Homes were selling down there. My house is worth $2 million, but I'm only paying, $4,000 a year. Things caught up on them. We had produced a television show to help the people of Jersey City called The Reval Show. And it was hosted by Ward E, downtown councilman. He's still a councilman today, James Solomon. And his guests were the company that conducted the reval, their inspectors, and a tax appeal expert. I strongly recommend that you watch that show because there are tons of tips in that show. Now, the show was from 2018, but everything applies to today. You'll hear how they went about doing the assessment. The only difference this year is they did it by Zoom in a lot of the municipalities. There weren't actual inspections done because North Bergen is going through a reval now, and with the pandemic, they were doing it by Zoom. Don't sit back and don't try to fight this yourself. There are experts in that field. You watch the show, you'll see an expert there, and they work the Toms River area. If you got hit, and there were parts of Toms River, we're hearing tax increases to the tune of 40, 45%. You definitely want to make sure you got an expert on your side. And I'm positive what they save you in taxes will more than cover their costs. Don't sit there and just take it. Get it reviewed. For that matter, if you want to set up a schedule to review your tax increase, your assessment, you have until, I'm sure they're going to extend this, you have until February the 4th, Friday, yesterday, to make an appointment. So I'm sure that'll be extended. But again, sit down. You got the link there. Go to our website. Go all the way down to the Reval Show. You'll see the icon there. Watch that show. Take notes. Get the phone numbers. It'll help you in the long run. All right, we're going to break for commercial, and we're going to come back with banking. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Tom River Show. Pat O Melia here. As you know, there are many bank branches have closed in Toms River, Ocean County. You're seeing the list of John's probably putting it up, a list that he got from NJ.com. He's going to show you pictures of closed banks and all. Ocean First has been closing banks. Wells Fargo just closed a branch in downtown Toms River. Over the last few years, Ocean County has lost about 25% of their branches here, and they're continuing to close. TD Bank submitted a list of branch closes. There is a huge inconvenience when you lose your branch. And everybody says, well, everybody's doing banking online. There's only so much you're going to do online. You still need the brick and mortar branches. And I'm going to go over every step of this and what kind of services you still need to go to the branch for. And there are reasons why these branches are being closed. They're just not, haphazardly. There's, financial reasons that they're closing these branches. And all of them. It's not just Wells Fargo, TD, Santander, Ocean First. They're all closing branches. And it turned into a huge inconvenience. Now, somebody in Ocean County is taking this issue on head first, and that's Commissioner Joe Ficcari. Everybody knows Joe Ficcari, ex-mayor of Toms River, for that matter. Hall of Famer for freeholder/commissioners. They're called commissioners now. He is getting a ton of traction on an idea of CoOp Banking, where a group of banks would operate a branch together. You just can't abandon those communities. We had done a show on that, I think about 3-4 months ago. It's not a new idea from me. Joe watched the show and said, that's a pretty good idea. We got an issue in Ocean County. So he is now taking the flag and he's run with it. I want to make sure I give credit to the guy who came up with this idea. Is the former mayor of Jersey City, Glenn D. Cunningham. Jersey City was running through the same problem. Whatever happened in Toms River happened first in Jersey City, basically. I can take Steve Fulop and put him in Mo Hill's desk, and Steve would just move right along. This is the same issues. Back when Glenn was the mayor, this is in the early 2000s, it was starting to happen then. The banks were closing, and Glenn was trying to figure out a way to keep the banks in place. We had a problem with called the MLK Hub. We were having a problem with the banks there. There were problems with the banks on the southern end of Jersey City. And one of the things Glenn mentioned, and it was a cold day too, we were freezing up there on MLK Drive at the hub. And he mentioned, all the banks should get together and operate a branch. And this way it would split the expenses. And I know we probably pursued it, but then Glenn passed on back in 2004. And if Glenn had lived, especially if he got the second term, it would have been a real interesting time in Jersey City. He was a great mayor of Jersey City. I broke in with Brett Schumler, but I had my most fun with Glenn Cunningham as the mayor Cunningham. I accomplished a lot civically with Glenn D. It's one of the reasons I'm in television today. But it was his idea. I just kind of kept it going, and it took another 15 years, but now it is getting a lot of traction. Joe Ficcari, it was on the front page of the Asbury Park Press. The Atlantic City Press had it. I think I just read it in the patch. The story is all over the place about the co-oping. And the Division of Banking in New Jersey is interested. Other banks are interested in what is now Joe's idea. Glenn was the spark, but Joe was going to be the fire. And he is following through on this. And it's really important that you have a brick and mortar branch. And we're going to go through all the reasons here as to why. But, he's on the front line, Joe Picari, saving the brick and mortars. Online banking is like one of the main reasons these branches are closing. Probably the top reason, because the online banking cut down on foot traffic. And there's not enough people going to the branches. But the overriding reason to close all these branches is the branch overhead, the expenses of each one of those branches. If the branches were making money, they wouldn't be closing. But there's not enough activity coming in there. And I can appreciate it being a business, especially coming after the pandemic. Well, is it after the pandemic? I don't know. Pandemic, this thing lives on. Hopefully, we all got our vaccines. We all got boosted. Again, don't go after people who are unvaccinated. Unvaccinated doesn't mean that they have COVID. I don't care. I'm vaccinated and I'm boosted. Let's break the commercial, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts of this. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back, Tom's River Show. Pat O Melia here. Everybody, you can do it online. Yes, you can do a lot of banking online. You can also, be hacked online. You can lose all your information, what have you. So it's probably safer to do what you can in the bank. But here are some of the things we forget that you need to go into the brick and mortar bank for. You need a certified check. You need a replacement debit or credit card. Go to the TD Bank, they'll do that in 5 minutes. Go to the Santander Bank, it will take about 10 days. For that matter, I lost my Santander debit card about 3 weeks ago. I was making a night deposit. I was tired. My mind was running. I forgot to take the card. And it was in the slot. I thought the machine ate it. Didn't need it. After the big snowstorm, I get a call from the branch on Route 37. Said, we found your card. We noticed that it's been deactivated. Yeah, I killed it as soon as I realized I didn't have it in my wallet. That was 3 weeks ago. Somebody snowplowing found the card and stuck it in between the doors. It took me 10 days. First off, Santander sent me a little note with my temporary PIN number and everything I needed to do, but not the card. The card followed a couple days later. If there's a discrepancy on your checking or your savings account, you probably want to go into the branch to get that settled, because doing it on the customer service line, provided if they answer or they'll call you back. And I wish they would change the prompts. Due to call volume, we're slow, or we changed our options. Just take that out. You want to go there. Identity theft. If there's identity theft, you definitely want to go to the branch and get on top of that immediately. If you're doing mortgages, you got to get your mortgage paperwork. You go to the branch. And I just seen my kids go through it recently. All the paperwork you have to get. Got to be an easy way to buy a house, by the way. You need to get a large sum of money. You're not getting that out of the ATM. You're going to have to go into the branch to get that. People still use money orders. Lots of people use money orders. You can get that in the bank, and it's still cheaper and probably more secure than that guy you might get it at the deli or the bodega. So I would always strongly recommend the bank or the post office. Safety deposit box, still a big thing. People use them all the time for valuables. You make your tax payments there. Now, I think I said this in last week's show. Do you really want to give Tom's River all your banking information? They can hack Amazon. It'd be a lot easier hacking Tom's River. So a lot of people, and I do it in Jersey City, I make the deposits, the bank, this property tax payments in person. Businesses do their payroll. A lot of businesses go into the bank and get the cash, and they'll do the payroll and give the employees the stubs. Business tax payments, a lot of businesses do that at the bank. You know, payroll taxes, if you don't have ADP or a quick check. Lottery deposits. Those guys that run those stores, and they're paying that lottery money, that goes to a bank. You don't want these guys riding around too far with a load of cash, and that's a big concern. So the guy that runs that store with a lottery machine, he wants to get to the bank in and out. Business banking, you know, they're making the deposits, or even coins. You never think about this. But, you know, and usually it's the person in front of me. He needs a bag full of coins, or they're bringing in a bag of coins to the bank. But coins are still used a lot. One thing that's really underreported, and you know, we have to salute them, bank tellers a lot of times can sniff out bank fraud, where that senior or that individual is at the window and they're withdrawing a large sum of money. They'll ask, what are you doing with this, taking out $6,000 for? Well, my grandson's in trouble, or my nephew's in trouble, and they need this money. The tellers are immediately say, sit down, let me get the police. And that happens a lot. Actually, you see it a lot now with gift cards. When you go to Rite Aid or CVS, they'll ask you, where are you buying all these gift cards? And, you know, seniors and low-income people, they go into the bank branches. You know, especially low-income, it costs a lot of money not to have money. The low-income people get hit with fees constantly, late payments, whatever it is. You know, they're cashing the check. You know, they go to a cash checking place. There's money taken out, 10, 12, 18%. You know, you need the branches. One of the things that banks may want to do is lower their requirements to open an account. It's all attached to their credit ratings and standings and all that. What does the bank care? For that matter, if you bounce a check, they're making money on it. I don't know why the banks are so tight on issuing a checking account. Let people have the checking accounts. It will save them money. Like I said, especially low income. And right now, after the pandemic, a lot of people's credit cards and credit ratings took a hit. It costs a lot of money not to have money. You're late on the bill, you get a late fee. It's incredible. Like I said, it costs a lot of money not to have money. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom Rivers Show. Be right back.
Ford made their first all-electric SUV a Mustang. Rapid acceleration, reactive handling, 300-mile range. You control how it feels and how it sounds. It knows you. It dials into your preferred settings. It has an array of driver assist technology. Cameras and sensors enhance your awareness and provide you with additional control. But it's more than cutting-edge technology. It's the spirit of it. It's a Mustang.
We're back, Tom Rivers Show. Let me go lightning round. I still got 3 pages of info. How would this work? Well, again, it's overhead. Overhead is a great cost. Online banking, foot traffic, bottom line, overhead. You need to split the cost of the overhead, the brick and mortar. You get 3, 4, or 5 different entities to operate this co-op bank. You know, TD Bank, Santander, Wells Fargo, whatever, 4 or 5. And they can split the expenses 4 or 5 different ways. Say there's a rent. You know, the problem paying the overhead on the rent on that bank branch, well, now you split it 4 or 5 different ways. And there are banks out here that can do that. Heat, light, and power, same deal. You're splitting the expenses 4 or 5 ways. Same thing with the insurance. Everything is split 4 or 5 different ways. You know, a car dealer, you go to a car dealership, go to Lester Glenn. He's got a lot of different names, and they're all under one roof. And I guarantee every one of those car dealerships pay for showroom floor space. It's separated. It can work. Personnel, there's a few options for this. The co-op can hire laid-off branch employees and use them strictly for the co-op branch. Your bank entities could rotate employees into the co-op branch. You can have somebody from personnel from Wells Fargo for 2 weeks or a month. Somebody from TD, same way, 2 weeks, a month, whatever the rotation would be. That's a possibility. It's up to the entities how they want to do it. The technology is there. that if you can use an ATM anywhere and it can take money out of your account, then the technology is there that you can walk into this co-op branch with your bank deposit slip and make a deposit into your account, whether it's a Wells Fargo employee standing there, a TD or Santander. Take that deposit slip, they can make that deposit, or you can get cash out of your account. It's there. You know, like I said, you can go in there with a TD deposit slip or withdrawal slip, Santander, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Those are the banks I'm thinking as the entities. They can conduct the transaction there, no matter what bank your deposit slip or check or card is drawn on. Can the cities and the counties incentivize this co-op idea? Yeah. You know, the cities and the counties can make deposits into the co-op. You know, their tax payments can go into that. You can make it worthwhile for the co-op to open that bank because there's going to be a lot of cash transaction there from the municipalities. The municipalities, they could do an abatement. We can try a 5-year abatement to see if this co-op idea works. I think that's a real possibility. Now, you can expand on this co-op. You're going to have 4 or 5 banks involved in the co-op. The city, the borough, the town could also get in on that lessened overhead. Let's say you put your a representative from the tax department there. Again, the technology is there, where a computer in that co-op bank branch can interact with the Toms River Bank's tax department computer. You can make your tax payment there. You can make inquiries into the taxes. Personnel from the Toms River Tax Department could be in that co-op branch. These things can work. You can, again, I'm just thinking out of the box how to make this work, how to increase foot traffic into the co-op branches besides the banking. You can involve the United States Postal Service involved in this. Yeah. You can get post office money orders there. You can rent the P.O. box. You can put P.O. boxes in there. You take a business, most businesses, you get your bill. You'll see a P.O. box on that bill. Open P.O. boxes in the branch. A business person go in, go to P.O. box. There's checks right there. I make my deposit now. I can do my business right there. I can send a package out. I can drop the mail off. All this is possible. This kind of activity to draw foot traffic in and make this co-op branch possible and successful and financially successful is there. I'm not a banking expert. Joe Vicari is getting a hell of a education on it now. But what we need is the willingness of the banking entities to make this work and be open-minded. Like I said, get the boroughs, the towns, and the cities involved. It's not just a Toms River problem. This is a statewide issue. This can be done. What we need is the willingness of all parties to make this work. The banking world's got to be part of the solution. They know what the problem is, and the thing is, they need to serve the residents of the community their banks are in. For that matter, there's a bank reinvestment program also, I think, mandated by the federal government that they reinvest in their local communities. That's a way of doing it. All right, I'm out of show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.